Today we're flying 550 miles from Eagles Creek in Johannesburg down to Plettenberg Bay airfield. Alright, let's roll. We're about to fly 2,000 miles, and today is our first leg of 550 miles from Eagles Creek in Johannesburg to Plettenberg Bay. We have got 3 hours and 15 minutes to go. We've been flying for approximately 10 minutes. It's roughly 3 hours 25 minutes down to Plettenberg Bay. Initially I've just planned to fly the aeroplane down. I've got a golf weekend to get to, both Saturday and Sunday. Just so happened that the Battaliers, the guy who runs the Battaliers, which is a charity organization here in South Africa that provides air service to other charities, called me up and he said, look, we've got a mission to collect some meerkats from Stellenbosch, and we need them delivered to the middle of the Kalahari, which is still like probably 3 hours flight from here to the west. And we need to drop them off at the Rewilding Rehabilitation Center there. Hopefully we can get a tour and see a little bit more about their operation. But for now we're getting down to Plettenberg Bay and we will be based there until Sunday. Sunday evening we will then head across to Stellenbosch, Cape Town, perhaps visit some friends in Wellington for the Sunday evening, and then Monday morning, first thing, we will be up and out with some meerkats. Okay, so give you an idea of what I'm doing here with all the bags and everything like that. I'm obviously going down to Plet to go and play golf, but golf clubs don't fit in the back of an RV-7, and I'm sure everyone knows that. It's quite small in the back there, it's deep, but it's not wide enough for a set of golf clubs. So what I had to do was take my passenger seat out. My passenger seat cushion is now behind me, and all my baggage is where the passenger seat was, including my golf clubs, which is... I think it was a good plan because now I'm pushing all the weight of those bags up forward, and I've made sure they're all strapped down, that nothing's going to fly forward and push the control surfaces, which is good. And I'm glad I could get the golf clubs in here. So for anyone who's interested about whether an RV-7 can take golf clubs, as long as your passenger seat is removable, it sure can fit a set of golf clubs. And I didn't even have to take out the woods or anything like that. Everything is in my golf bag, just slid in and fits like a glove. And what a beautiful morning it is to fly. We have an absolutely stunning sunrise off to the east, and not a single person on the radio at the moment. It's just as quiet as can be, as smooth as can be. We are in the middle of summer here now in South Africa, so it's very hot. I think getting in the plane this morning at 4:45, it was already 25 degrees Celsius. I would assume now that the sun is coming up, we're going to be pushing towards 30 in the next sort of, I'd say, 20 to 30 minutes. But the airplane temperatures are running as they should, slightly higher than what they normally do on a colder day. It's 389 on the cylinder head temperatures. We want to make sure that that is below 400 at all times. And if it does get a little bit higher, what we tend to do is just roll in a little bit more fuel, keep it cool that way, and pay for the cooling essentially. But we're burning 32 liters an hour, we got 2,350 RPM. 22.7 inches of manifold, which is equivalent to 65% power. We're doing a true airspeed of 157 knots, indicated airspeed of 139 knots at 6,500 feet, and a ground speed of 150 knots. So hopefully this headwind doesn't get too much stronger. But for now, everything seems like smooth sailing, and I'm really, really looking forward to this flight. Right, so we are just approaching Bloemfontein now. We are probably about 3 or 4 minutes before we start to enter the airspace. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the Bloemfontein information. We're going to get the frequencies. All the frequencies are already loaded here on the EFIS. So we've got an ATIS frequency. We're going to listen to that just to see if they are unmanned, and then what the QNH is and stuff like that. And yeah, taking the shoulder straps off. It's very smooth today, nice and calm. Let's listen to this ATIS. Alright, it's loaded on the radio, from the EFIS to the radio. We're just going to monitor that.
Transition level 9-0. Aircraft to continue unmanned procedures.
Unmanned, okay, good.
Station is now closed. Wind 130 degrees, 02 knots. Cave OK, temperature 13. Dew point 02, QNH 1016. No significant change, acknowledge information Foxtrot.
Okay, we have got information Foxtrot. Thank you very much, ma'am. And we have verified that it is unmanned. We will also make a call on their tower frequency just to make sure that it is unmanned and that. But I did hear that that ATIS was released 10 minutes ago. So it's probably closed there until 7 o'clock local time, 5 o'clock Zulu time. So I'm going to go back over to my airport information. I'm going to hit the frequency button. And I'm going to check what the tower frequency is, 120.8. So if I hit that on the G3X, immediately gets sent over to the radio and the backup or the standby. And we're still currently on the VFR frequency, which is where we are right now, we're unmanned. We're going to make a call on the VFR frequency just before we start entering the Boston airspace, just to make sure everyone knows That sounds like the ground crew that's going to be inspecting the runway before they open at 7 o'clock. We've still got 45 minutes and we'll be passed through their airspace within the next, what is it? 15, 1.5, probably less than that. 1.4 minutes we'll be outside of the airspace. That's Plettenberg traffic, Juliet Charlie Oscar RV-7, 6,500 feet, now passing half a mile to the east of the field, and we'll be continuing on southwest for Plettenberg Bay, Juliet Charlie Oscar. This is actually the first time I've ever flown through Bromfisher airspace. We're passing Bloemfontein City now as well. Never been on this side of the city. We still got that headwind, ground speed 142 knots. So it's putting our ECA a little bit further delayed than I'd expected. So it's going to be about 3 hours and 45 minutes of flying. Current ETA now is 8:43 local time and it's 6:25 local. That's the thing, it's very different flying this aeroplane compared to the Safari. The Safari is very much hands-on the whole time. It is hand-flying, no Autopilot or any fancy stuff like that. So time does tend to go a little bit quicker when you are physically flying. The fact that this aeroplane is on Autopilot means that I've got really nothing to do apart from monitoring the engine and monitoring radios and stuff like that, which is great. I mean, it relieves kind of all the workload off of me and then I'm not so tired when I land. But it does make the trip feel a lot longer because I'm not really doing anything. But we're just leaving Bloemfontein airspace now, and I thought it was quite interesting to show you the transit through the what should be controlled airspace, which is now unmanned because it's not yet open. And yeah, we're going to switch the cameras off again, and we'll switch them back on once we get to something a little bit more interesting than this very bland scenery at the moment. Alright, so we are coming over the mountains, and that was a bumpy ride. I wish I'd switched this camera on as we started coming over, because that was hectic. The wind is currently 32 knots, quartering headwind from the south. So yeah, it's bumpy over these mountains. So we got one more ridge to cross, and then we are on the descent into Plet. We're 6,500 feet an hour. We'll descend down to 3,500 feet. Just going to come underneath this little layer here, across the ridge. So squeeze between the two, shoot the gap, and then start the descent into Plet. And here comes some more bumps. Hold on here. The last ridge, I can start descending. I'm not gonna lie, this autopilot holds so well. Like 6,500 feet, I haven't seen it go sort of below, say, 50 feet from 6.5. Like the autopilot is doing really, really well. Okay, clouds are coming up to me. I'm going to start selecting down altitude now to 3,500 feet. We have a traffic in the Plet area. Juliet Charlie Oscar RV-7 is currently 18 miles to the north of Plet, inbound to Plet, leaving 6,500 feet now, descending 3,500 feet. Juliet Charlie Oscar. Traffic Juliet Charlie Oscar is now turning right downwind midfield, runway 30, full stop.
Plettenberg Bay 17 Fox approaching Beacon Isle 1,200 feet. Continue routing coastwise towards Nature's Valley.
And Lima Foxtrot inside for Juliet Charlie Oscar, turning right base now, runway 30. I've got a long final approach. That is the problem with these airplanes, is they just do not slow down. Split traffic, Juliet Charlie Oscar, short final 30, full stop for the hangars.
And there we have it, landed in the beautiful Plettenberg Bay. Aircraft is tucked into the hangar, and hangars don't come easy here in Plettenberg Bay, so thank you so much to Anton who got me some space here at Plet. And yeah, time to close up the hangar doors. The weather started to come in, which was predicted. I think from about 10ish the clouds are going to get quite low here, so good job I made it in early. Apart from the headwinds, now I've got to figure out how am I going to get some fuel. Looks like we've got about 1 hour worth of fuel left in the aeroplane. Hopefully someone here has got some fuel. If not, we're going to have to head off to George probably later on this afternoon just to collect some fuel, refuel, and then have her topped up so that on Sunday we can head to Stellenbosch and then fill up in Stellenbosch and head up doing the Meerkats on Monday. So exciting weekend ahead. I have got some golf to play now for the next couple of days, and maybe we're going to go flying a little bit while we're here in Knysna. But that was the trip from Johannesburg to Plet. 3 hours 45 minutes, usually 3 hours 15 minutes.